Okay, I think I got. I messed up my mic volume for a sec. So I had to fix it. But anyway, welcome, Fetty friends, to episode 3 of Fireside Fetty. I'm your host, Ozone. Fireside Fetty is a show about folks within the Fediverse. If you're seeing this, that means you too. You are a part of the Fediverse. With me today is Stux. Stux is the owner and administrator of Mastodon's 7th largest server with 20,000 active users. I think I saw something like 200 and so that's 20,000, I think, monthly active users with like 250,000 accounts as of the last time I looked. Stux is a 32-year-old, just had his birthday. Happy birthday, Stux. He's a software developer from Netherlands, and he's possibly a cat. All right, welcome, Stux.
Meow, meow. Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm actually a human, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I go online as a cat, but I'm actually a human, yeah.
So, first off, how would you like me to address you? Mr. Stux, Stux the cat?
You can call me just Stux, however you like. I leave it a little bit of a mystery so people can fill in it the way however they like. So yeah.
Does it come with a backstory?
Well, yeah. Stux is gotten from the name from Stuxnet, from the virus, like most people guessed. It's something I've come across many years ago, and I was so astonishing by the quality of code, so I took over the name Stux and I went with it. Yeah.
I literally had someone in my community, like the folks in my community were like, let's figure out some questions to ask people. And one of them, Intraz, was actually like, how does he feel about Stuxnet? No, just kidding. It's probably unrelated. It's not unrelated. Who knew?
No.
That's good.
It's not the goal of the virus, but the quality of the virus and how far they got it across the world. I don't know. It's something that amazed me and it blew my mind. So I went with Stux and it sounded cool. So Stux it was.
It does. And
Yeah.
Fireside Fetty is Stux on you. Aw. Sorry. So I'm hoping this is obvious because you have your personal icon on your website, on Discord, is a cat. Do you have a cat?
Yeah.
Or many cats, or
We have two cats. We have George and Washington. They're maybe a little famous on Mastodon, perhaps. They're two cats we got a few years ago. We had a former neighbor, and she had these cats as kittens, and she wasn't a very good cat owner. Let's keep it that way. And at a certain point, she just moved away and left the kittens just behind. And my girlfriend was away at the weekend, so I managed to got Washi into the house with some food. And from day one, he slept on the bed with me, and a day later, George came into the house because he saw Washi, and from that point, they live with us. So we actually, rescued him from a very bad cat owner neighbor who just moved away and left the cats.
were they already named George and Washington, or did you name them George and Washington?
We named them. My girlfriend named George, and I think I asked some on the Fetty for us, how should we name our cats, and someone else came up with the name Washington. So
Yeah.
it was George Washi. And Washington is a cat who likes to wash himself. He's constantly washing himself, so he's always washy or something like that. So it's perfectly
Okay.
fitting. Yeah.
That is great how that lined up. I didn't know if you had like a penchant for George Washington history or something. Like
No.
that's
It's just, very unusual names, and it's kind of an inside joke. If we tell it to people how our cat's name, we often check the response if people get it or don't. If they're kind of local people or international people, we always look at each other. Do they get it or don't they? Because people often laugh, but it's the kind of laugh you can notice if they really get the joke or not.
that's
Yeah.
cute. That's really cute. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. Okay, good, because obviously you have cats all over your different projects, so I had to assume that you had a cat or you at least wanted a cat. So at least we got that out of the way. The hard-hitting questions that everyone wants to know is, do you have a cat?
Yeah. I've become a diehard cat fan over the past years.
Yeah.
He caught my heart, these cats. So yeah.
Yeah, I have.
It's cats all.
Mine's here somewhere. I think she's hiding. We got a dog recently, so she hangs out in the office with me. So, but she's a good girl.
Nice.
We've had ours for 17 years. She's
Oh
hiding right
wow.
now. Yeah, she's getting old,
I
but
also I also grew up with a dog who was always a few years older than me. On my 12th or so, I think the dog died. But yeah, we never had cats, so it was a new introduction when
yeah,
we got cats.
it's yeah. You don't own cats. Cats own you.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're the guardians. Always, we also were cat guardians. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, of course, I'm gonna have to ask you about all the Mastodon administrative stuff. But before we get there, who was Stux as a child? Did you always have this idea growing up that you wanted to be an internet sensation that helped save social media from Facebook? And so, well, you're 30, you're 32, right? So, was there a time growing up that you remember that social media did not exist?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I recently thought about it and talked about it with a few people. The actual first media, well, social media platform, not per se, the social media thing in the world was actually World of Warcraft, for example. I played a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
World of Warcraft growing up,
Yep.
and it was more a social game. We got things done with sometimes 200 plus people
Right.
online over the whole world. So that was basically it was some form of social media ish.
Right.
And yeah, and then before I discovered Mastodon, I've been, I think, 10 years working on various projects from one project to another to establish some sort of social media platform or something like that. I always wanted something like that because the main ones just didn't it for me. It was, uh, yeah, I liked. I always liked Twitter. The concept of Twitter, the
Mm-hmm.
micro blogging, the
Mm-hmm.
whole style of Twitter, it was I don't know, I just liked it. And the day I deleted my Facebook account, I went searching for alternative social media, and I came across Mastodon. And instantly I knew that this was for me. That without even trying an account or setting up trying and joining an instance from
Yeah.
someone else, just spun up my own server and tried it for the first time, and it just fell in love with it.
Was that the beginning of Mastodon.social? So it's mstdn.social. It's not the full
Yeah.
Mastodon.social, but was it that one?
No,
Okay.
I don't even know what kind of domain it was. It was more of a funny domain or a test domain, something like that.
Oh,
But
okay.
MSTDN was more like a joke. It started out as a joke, and it became very serious very rapidly. So I
Yeah.
had to stick with it. Yeah, I love clever domains, but MSTDN social, I took a long time to get used to it because it's just well, it's a form of Mastodon social, but without
Right.
yeah. But yeah, it grew very rapidly, so I didn't have a choice to but stick with it and accept
How
for what it is, and yeah. But it
well,
started out as a joke.
when did you first find Mastodon? Because if I remember, I started, I think in 2017, 2018, something like that, because I'm always looking for open source projects that are self-hosted that give, control back to us. And I'm almost positive when I got there, I know for a fact Fetty Tips was already there, and I'm pretty sure you were already there because you and I started talking like immediately. And it's not like we're deep friends or anything, but you and I have known each other now for 5, 6 years casually through Mastodon.
Could be, yeah, I think so, yeah. Um, my account is created on November 3, 2019, but I was active before then, I think.
Yes. Yeah,
Some,
yeah.
yeah, before indeed, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah, well, before I discovered Mastodon, I had a whole different, well, opinion on the web, I guess. I always learned that every website you make, every web shop or whatever form of a web platform has has to have some form of return. So you have to
Yeah.
have Google AdSense or affiliates or something like that. That was the way I was brought up, basically, or learned my internet behavior until the day I discovered Mastodon. I found out a project that didn't want anything in return. It was free. The code was free. It blew my mind. So
Right?
from that day, I rolled into the open source ecosystem. And from that day on, I changed completely. I ditched analytics. I ditched AdSense. I didn't want anything to do with the whole earning money on a website concept anymore because it didn't make any sense anymore. The open source world was so much more friendlier, more um, people did stuff for free. It was I wanted to be part of that. This that was the day that changed my internet behavior basically, or my web design behavior. And Mastodon was the one responsible for that. Yeah.
That's
It was everything I wanted in a social media platform, and it was free. It was wow.
right. Yeah. That's, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't express, again, I was never into social media myself, but when I saw that we can run our own, like we can control this, like I was already a big open source advocate. I've run Linux for 18 years, I think now, 17 years. And so I was always looking for that kind of thing. So it's great to see that like you were so entrenched in this ideal, like things have to be this way. And then there's that little like light of clarity that comes through. And you're like, I'm done with all of it. You jump straight in.
For
I love
real, it was really a moment of clarity, basically. Because in school, you get taught the other way. Everything has to have a return somehow, or some nasty
Yeah.
form of collecting data and using that, or and it never brought real returns. I mean, the few dollars you got from AdSense, it wasn't really worth exploiting your users to show them ads constantly over and over again and that kind of stuff. And uh, and I found that Mastodon was basically running on funding from people who voluntarily gave them money because they liked the project. And I
Yeah.
so much like that aspect. Just people don't force people to pay for stuff. Just give them the optional option to give money, and people will pay. It's bizarre. That's the way how I act today. Everything I basically create is free, without ads, without tracking. I give it away for free and give people the option to donate. Just optional option in the hope someone ever comes along and thinks, okay, I have too much money. You know what? Here's cash and whatever, and do your thing.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm fine with it. I don't want to be a millionaire. That's not my goal in life. I just want to create fun stuff and let people have fun. And yeah, I don't know. I like
So,
that.
well, and I think that's a big part of Mastodon that people have to realize is it can do amazing things, but it does still cost people money. So again, last I looked, your instance was seventh ranked on Mastodon with, I think it said like 250,000 accounts, 20,000 monthly active users. Is that about right?
Yeah, I guess so. But that's just one instance. I have another one with
You have a lot.
Mastodon.ai. Yeah, I have three Mastodon instances. Mastodon.social, in total of 250K users, I think. Mastodon.ai has about 70K. And we got Mastodon.coffee, but that's a relative small one. That's kind of an, yeah, it manages itself. I often do the server updates. I check in on the server, but it really runs on itself. It's very tight community within the Fediverse. It's very cool. And but yeah, I have three servers, so that's only Mastodon. And besides that, we have also two PixelFed servers, a PeerTube server, and a ton of other free services like URL shorteners, uh, kill walls for paywalls and that kind of stuff. I have all links on my blog.
I have that up
So
right
yeah,
now, actually. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of
like,
different services,
that's
Android
the
apps,
whole list indeed. Yeah,
Stux Host, Yi2, Mastodon Social, Mastodon Coffee,
I think
Mastodon
if you go
8A.
to the status page of status.msnl.social, you get a list of the Fediverse related services.
What is it again?
Status.mstdn.social. I think it's one on the top somewhere.
Status.mstdn.social. Let's see. Oh yeah, you have partially degraded service.
Oh, oh. Let me see.
Translations
I
are showing
share
red, by
emails
the way.
about. I think I know indeed. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. I'm aware about that. Yeah.
Right, yeah, you
I'm
probably already knew about that. But like,
Well, today someone asked about a translating service, a free open translating service, and I replied to it with I think I posted a whole URL. And well, when I post URL on my account, I basically DDoS the websites because, well, the Fediverse has every Fediverse server wants a link preview, and well, yeah, it's a good way to test your website on DDoSing by posting a link, especially if you have somewhat more followers, for example. So I think I DDoS my own translating server, and I've been working on it, but yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware.
yeah.
But it's not a critical service, so yeah.
But again, you run all of this stuff yourself, right? So even if you had all the hardware, you're still talking electricity, you're still talking bandwidth, so internet prices, right? And I'm assuming, do you run all the hardware at home?
Oh no, I've tried it a few years ago, but the amount of hardware I need to run is just it's too much to keep at home. We've had a server, but the server was too slow at the end. The capacity was way
Okay.
too low. So the physical server I need to keep at home just to run MSN and the social would be just too much. So we keep remote
Okay.
servers for for actually all servers, plus the stability for the internet, for example. If my
Okay.
internet goes down because there has to be maintenance, I can guarantee the uptime in that point. So Hetzner would be the better solution in uptime at the
Okay,
end of the day.
you run Hetzner. That's what I run. But
Yeah.
mine is for me. Mine is not, 250,000 people. And it's funny because whenever I talk to someone, like everyone's first response is there's no way that the Fediverse is going to take off because the big tech companies, they can barely support their services. And it's like because a lot of what they do is not front facing, right? Like Google.
It's it's all centralized, and that's the whole the difference with the Fediverse. What is the load is all spread out. If for
Right.
example, if we get a massive run because well Elon does something stupid, so a lot of people from X go to us, for example. I
It
think it's now
happens.
done already.
Yeah.
Um, One server goes down, for example, because the load is too high. Another server will pop up and take it over, and well, the dominoes keep falling, but the load keeps spreading around the Fediverse until it slowly gets back up. And this happened multiple times over. That we've seen that many times over. And
Yeah.
with big tech is if one server goes down or their network goes down, there's no alternative. So people just keep
Well,
refreshing the page basically to a nothing.
and
And with the Fediverse, you skip to another server and nothing is yeah.
well, and I think that a lot of people don't understand. Like, so the classic one I get is with Twitch, which I'm like, hey, there's Owncaster, and like, there's no way you could afford to run a server like Twitch does. It's like, first off, you run it for yourself, so you don't have
Mhm.
everyone else streaming. Secondly, vast majority of what these big companies do, their processing power isn't made to process your content. Their processing power is made to handle the money part of it, which is ads, right? Like they have to have a way to drive ads. So immediately Mastodon and the others are already lighter weight because they don't have to do that.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I don't want to know what kind of algorithms are behind Meta or Instagram or take one of those platforms. I mean, an algorithm doesn't exist from nothing. It has to be trained on data, for example. So that's input output, but that's only a small part. Uh, how are you gonna handle all those processing data, for example? I don't- to be honest, okay, let's, for example, our PeerTube instance is closed by default for registrations. If people want an account, I just open registrations for them, they can sign up, and I close it again. This is pure because I don't want to run a second YouTube. And
Yeah.
because there are so much cost for YouTube, and that's not, for YouTube, it's mostly storing videos, and it's not storing one video, it's storing the single video multiple times over because you
Right.
have to have multiple resolutions. So
Yep.
it's not only one video you're hosting, it's
Found that
four
out. Yeah.
videos for one video. Well, yeah, and that's just one thing. Um, so yeah, you have to think um, you have to think logical and critical about the cost if it's doable. Okay, I want to run a second YouTube for sure. If I can offer that, absolutely. But if I look at the actual data storage, etc., etc., I just know it's not feasible. I can't People,
Yeah.
I can't ask so much donations to run a second YouTube. That's just not doable. So
Yeah.
I close my signups and hope someone else spins up a PeerTube server and takes some off the load. Of course, they can
But
still watch videos from our PeerTube server
right.
because we have a lot of users.
Well, and that's, I mean,
Yeah,
that's I put my videos up there because I want to give content. Like I don't know if anyone's going to see this, but at least if someone's interested, the content's out there. And like you said, like I'm not going to open it up to everyone. I have it specifically for my videos, but yeah, anyone can watch them anywhere. And I think again, that's the
exactly.
power of the Fediverse. My little chunk that I pay for this doesn't have to be $1 billion. It doesn't have to be $1 million. Now,
Indeed.
your Mastodon server, 250,000 people or whatever, does cost. Do you want to talk about how much it costs you?
Yeah, sure. My current estimates are often between 1,200 and 1,500 euros a month for all services combined. And with this, we're talking about all server costs. So that's, I think, 6, 7 servers in total, plus the media storage. That's also become quite expensive. And we got the email servicing, the email sending, and afterwards we got the domains. But the domains are once a year, and that's often a few $100s. But yeah,
So,
it's I often pay between 1,200 and 1,500 euros a month. That's about 5 times the rent I pay for my apartment.
but this is an absolutely great point because we've always heard like in donations and in giving to charity, right? Like even $1 matters, right? So, but
Oh, yeah.
in this instance, you have 20,000 monthly active users. If they did give you $1, if literally everyone pitched in $1, that's 20 grand. And it doesn't cost
Well,
anyone like $1,
one
right?
thing
So
is, I think most donations come from outside our server. That's
really, that's
also a
awesome.
Yeah, I every month I post a post and a server announcement on each of our servers.
Yeah.
But then if days the new server bills arrive, if you can, please donate. But also if you can, just don't force people. But I only want your donation if you can miss it. I've got messages from people who say, I've donated you a few bucks, but I can't do more because I'm on basic assistance or something. And
Yeah.
I don't want your money. But there are a lot of people on the internet who have plenty of money, who can basically donate if they want to, but I don't want the money from the people who really need it. And those are the
Right.
people who donate. It's just, but yeah, I post server announcement and I post just a post. And it's often the people from the Fediverse who reply the most or who donate the most in comparison to people on the server itself. Because we don't have
That's
really a good way to ask for donations. The post is the only way, I guess, and server announcements. But
but
many
no,
apps don't
that's
support
that's
announcement, for
one
example.
thing that's one thing I've never thought of is people outside your instance supporting you, right? Because that
Oh yeah,
they're getting the same content. They might not be on your server. So
yeah,
that's even more amazing because again, if you could like if ActivityPub or the developers or Mastodon or someone set up a like non-profit like open collective and you bring it all together and then you start divvying out money like that would help the Fediverse grow and it doesn't as you said it doesn't
yeah.
cost a lot for anyone a couple bucks like even a couple bucks from 1,000 people is a lot of money right like that's do
Yeah,
you
absolutely. Yeah.
do
Have you seen the Kickstarter project for Pixel?
I
I mean,
did
it's gone through. That's amazing, right? It's so
right
wonderful. Yeah.
yeah
So for it's a lot of money. I mean, it's a lot of money, and for every individual, we never can wouldn't be able to pay such a thing. But if we all come together and we all just donate a few bucks or a few cents, it's just wonderful to see how many we can get together just with so many people. It's yeah, and it supports all the good stuff. It's yeah,
so they still have 18 days to go and they have wow, they're at
yep,
86,882 out of $35,000 so yeah people want this
yep,
and thank you for reminding me I meant to come back to this and donate a couple bucks even though I don't really use PixelFed and loops this is what I want to do I want to foster this kind of stuff and again if you have $5 toss it like
yep.
this is literally for the common good
I'm in very close contact with Daniel. Daniel's kind of my guide, my teacher in Laravel. I've been working on Goldfish project since a few years back. I've had a bit of a struggle in between. I'm currently
Yeah.
getting back into it. And Daniel has always been my mentor and my guide somewhere. We've had a lot of conversation about this stuff, and yeah, we're very much alike in him and in many things. And he always keeps pushing me to get back into into the Goldfish project, and because he knows it's also Laravel, so we have something to talk about. And yeah, dus he always a few days ago he sent me also a message. Have you seen our Kickstarter project? How awesome is this? People really want this. You gotta get back to the Goldfish, etc.,
Right.
etc. So yeah.
So to let
I've had yeah.
to let
Sorry.
people then well to let people know that in case that you're not familiar, Stux is referring to Daniel Supernault, who's also known as Dan Sup. He is the creator of PixelFed. He's the creator of Loops. I believe he worked on FettyDB. He's working on some kind of new like encryption algorithm or something for Mastodon private chats, right? Or well, private chats in the Fediverse, not Mastodon.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Daniel is very hard at work indeed. He's the founder of FettyDB, I guess.
FettyDB,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, FettyDB indeed the biggest collection of Fediverse data at the moment, I guess.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and he's a very big fan of Laravel and well the backend, the PHP backend, and he tries to push it also for the Fediverse. So yeah, he's been a really great help for developing. Absolutely.
Well, and I remember you were talking about the Goldfish project, and that was one of the questions I had today. I went and looked it up, and I didn't really see much about it at the moment. I thought it was supposed to be what Loops became, but can you go over Goldfish, what you were working on?
Yeah, Goldfish was my alternative for well, it started out as do you remember Vine from way back before Twitter bought it and shut it down?
I do remember Vine, kind of. I never used Vine. I'm an old man, but yes, I
It was
kind of remember Vine. Yeah.
kind of a pre-platform before TikTok. It was also
Right.
short
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Design was very slick, and I just liked it. I don't know, it just yeah, kind of a pre TikTok, so to say. And so my first intention was to build an alternative, free open source for Vine, and later became Vine-TikTok. But Daniel was also working. I've started working at a project called Loops
Loops. Yeah.
at the moment, so it kind of discouraged me because, well, I was starting in the whole web development, the hardcore web development,
Right.
so I had to learn a whole lot. And Daniel was, well, he's more advanced, very more advanced. So at some point, I became so far behind that I kind of, well, gave up a bit and focused more on game development. So yeah. But currently, I'm trying to crawl back into the web development part, and
Yeah.
it's kind of switch back. Yeah.
No, please do, because the way that I look at it is, again, the Fediverse, we are not combatants. There is not Facebook versus Twitter, and they're both struggling because they're competitors. You can have Mastodon and GoToSocial and something else. You can have Loops and Goldfish and something else. And the brilliant part of all of this, again, because it's all open source. Now, again, I'm an idealist. I'm a passionate person about open source technology. Is we have the opportunity to make something no one's ever thought of, or change the, you don't like this front end of Loops. That's fine. Here's Goldfish, and let the people figure out what they want. And it will, the projects that people don't really resonate with, unless someone is very passionate about it, it will kind of fall to the wayside, sadly. But that allows, more focus on the whole thing. Get people something they like, and they'll show up.
Yeah, indeed, exactly. That's what Daniel also used as an argument. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no one platform. I
Right?
mean, you can have indeed Goldfish, you can have Loops, you can all PeerTube, for example.
Yeah.
You can have all those platforms together, and there's no one platform.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
that's indeed what's something to get over, I guess, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, indeed, but it's a little bit of a switchback. I've had my since a kid, I always wanted to create my own games. I think many
Okay.
boys have that dream. As a kid, you played
Yeah.
RuneScape, World of Warcraft, something like that, and
Right.
you always think, I want to build something like that. And I came to the point. At some point I discovered Unreal Engine. So I thought, okay, now's the point. I got to create some games, get it out of my system. So that part is done in my life. I can close it now, and I can move back to the more serious things and back to the stuff people really want. So alternative platforms without the whole hassle of tracking and the evil aspect. Let's call it just that way, because TikTok is just oof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, what
something
so
needs to change.
what for you would success look like? What it could be anything. You build a game that does well. You create a platform, or you're just being an admin of Mastodon.social and seeing the Fediverse grow and flourish. What to you is success? Or heck, it could be as simple as marrying your girlfriend, living a nice, peaceful, quiet life. What does success look for you?
Well, no, I've always had kind of big ambitions, I guess.
Big ambition.
Um, Yeah, my girlfriend always wanted kids, and I've convinced that we've come to the agreement that we're gonna adopt on a somewhat later age. We're first
Okay.
gonna establish what we want in life or do the things we want,
Hmm.
and for me, is it something to leave behind?
That's
Some
amazing.
impressions. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to leave the world better as I found it, something like that. And my passion is the digital world basically. So development. I mean, code is literally magic, and
Yeah.
why not work magic and leave something magical behind? It's still a little bit of a fuzz what it is exactly, but something to leave behind, something that people can build on basically for maybe generations. I don't know, but if I've
No,
come to
but
the
I,
to
I,
the
I
thing,
love
if
that. I love that because you literally can build something, anything, doesn't matter what it is, and it
yeah,
gets left behind,
yeah.
right? Like I, complete tangent, when I was in high school, I had a TI-82 calculator and I asked the math teacher, am I allowed to program it? And he said, yes, you still have to show your work. So I programmed it just thinking it wasn't like it was going to be for me to help me on tests. And I came up with these programs. And then, at the test time, I told people I programmed my calculator and everyone wanted it. So I passed it around and I warned them, there could be bugs, whatever. 3 years later, I talked to one of my high school friends' brothers who said it was still going around there. So when you create something, you never have any idea how it's going to be taken, but that's brilliant. Just you want to make an impact, right? And this is a way you can make an impact. That's great. I love that.
Exactly. Even if just one person enjoys it, it's just worth it for me. Like for example, the games I create, if just one person plays it and enjoys it, it's just worth it for me. I don't have to get anything back or something like that. Just the
Right,
enjoyment
yeah.
of one person, basically enough. So everyone on top of that is just a big win, I guess, something like that. So
Right.
it's almost always worth the time in some way or another.
And it's
For example, maybe an extreme thing, but the seed vault of the global seed vault, there is a code storage somewhere from GitHub, I believe, in the Arctic vaults somewhere where code is stored, and I believe there's also a copy of Mastodon
oh,
there. So there is work from us literally stored somewhere in some vault. If humanity somewhere were to perish, our code will still survive somewhere in some vault or somewhere in the
that's
Arctic. This
that's awesome.
only that is just very cool to think about. It's nothing, but it's cool to think about, for example.
No, but it's not. I mean, it's not nothing. You literally have your stamp on human history at this point in time, where it's not going to be like history
Yeah,
we have it, assuming we don't all destroy each other, and the digital age continues to grow and flourish. We have it all. And you can look
that,
back, and I absolutely love that. And it's not even the people that you don't know. You talk to one person, and they talk to one person. Like
yeah.
you had an impact there, and that's great. I love that, man. That's really cool.
It's incredible to see indeed. But I don't want to be famous. That's
Yes, no, I
I
don't.
keep my full name and saying because I don't want to be famous. I love to have an impact, but rather on the background or something like
Yeah,
that. Just let something else speak for me. In this way, it's maybe a cat persona or something like that. But
yeah.
as soon as you get famous, you get limited in a lot of stuff. I don't know, or you feel limited, maybe it's something like that. I don't, but yeah, that's
It's
something like politics. I want to change everything, but I don't want to be in politics. So it's
Right?
rather shit. Yeah, it's yeah.
No, and that's why I started this. Like I've told people time and time again, I'm not on Ooncast to get famous. I'm not on Ooncast to make money. I didn't start this show to be famous. It's not about me. I want it to be about the Fediverse and all the people behind it. Like I'm with you, but I need, especially right now in our political climate, I need to figure out a way to help, and I can give up a piece of me to talk to you folks, to help spread the message. And I absolutely love it. I've learned it's not social media I hate. It is the control and the change that they all brought to it. That is the bad thing.
And we got it's. I saw a documentary recently and some about the internet. In the past, we thought the internet would bring us together and we would unite us and we would be one as humanity. We would stand up for things and we get things done. What the internet actually did is it created camps. We all have different camps and we all fight each other. We're all at war with each other.
Yeah.
And why is it? It's I think because algorithms have driven us apart mostly because there is no profit in harmony. There's more profit in chaos, I guess. But the control of a few people who decide for the rest of us, it's just insane. It's just bizarre. I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to live under the thumb of a billionaire or an oligarch. And that's what most of actually the internet is these days. It's control of the oligarchs. They really took control of it.
I love to hear it because like when I say it out loud, I'm always like I can't be the only one. So it's nice to get that reassurance that other people feel the same way too. So I've been called a conspiracy theorist by my dad because of this stuff. And it's like, he was a construction worker and I'm in IT. And I'm like, Dad, they are doing this stuff. Like they have evidence. Like we've seen it. I know how this stuff works. Trust me.
You know what? I've learned to, maybe sound harsh, but my dad always told me, stop with the computer stuff, go find a real job, and stop with that bullshit.
Yeah.
But for real, I was in Bitcoin. It was $9. I mean, at the time I was gloating about my dad. Oh, this is digital money. This has become the future, etc., etc. And he was always, bullshit. It's nothing. It's nothing. If I show my previous wallet, he doesn't even want to acknowledge it because he knows I was right. But with many examples, he doesn't want to acknowledge it because he knows at the end of the day, who laughs we got a saying in Dutch. I know it's who laughs last doesn't get a joke or something like that. But and I've come to learn that don't always trust people who are not in the profession. My dad is a truck driver, so what? No offense, but what can you tell me about the whole internet culture? And
I think it's not even just the internet culture. It's the fact that the world goes by so quickly at this point in our hyper-connected age that if you're not totally connected into it, like I think you and I are, you miss literal swaths of the internet. They come, they've peaked, they're gone in the blink of an eye, essentially. And a lot of people don't have a clue.
But also with the world news, I guess. I was always the weird professor in my family. Every family has that weird professor kind of type, and I was always the one. I've come from a very small village. It was not very technical, and people don't like knowledge very much. Let's keep it that way. I was always the person who wanted on the computer. I wanted to learn things. I was excited for science and that kind of stuff. And where am I going with this? Sorry, I forgot my point.
No, that's fine. You had a quest for knowledge, essentially, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. The town I grew up with was always the knowledge wasn't very valued. It was always the unknowledge that was most valued. If you don't know about stuff, it's also fine. Only the stuff that happens within your own village is most important.
Yeah.
And I always came with world news topics like, oh, this happened in this country or this happened in that country. And my parents were always like, why do you need to know that stuff? Don't you know what happened down the street, for example? And I was like, yeah, but I don't care what happened down the street. I want to know what happens around the globe, the major things, the big things that have impact or something like that.
Right.
But I have a feeling that my parents didn't. They grew up in an age where it wasn't that
Yeah.
interconnected. It wasn't a
Yeah.
daily thing. So they read the paper, what was happening in the town maybe or a town over, and that's it. And that's what you need to worry about. But I'm worried about nuclear war. I'm worried about the war in Ukraine, about the presidency in the US. It's really a thing that really bothers me. And my
Yeah.
parents can never understand why that would bother me. But yeah,
Yeah.
I can't explain it to them. I really can't explain it to them.
No, the world's changed. You're right. I think that it's gone
Yeah,
from Bob accidentally just trimmed Rose's hedges a little bit too high or too
yeah,
low to, that's kind of their thing. Let them have that conversation. Like that has nothing to do with us. Oh yeah, by the way, my elected officials are trying to destroy the government. Like not trying
want
to
to
get
know that.
political, but like,
But yeah,
we see it in a lot of areas where I literally talked to someone. She's like, the world is ending. And we're like, it's going to be okay. But we need to stay connected and we need to reach out to people with stuff like that. Like with Bob and Rose down the street, they're friends, but it's kind of not your business. I don't know.
exactly. Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So,
It's kind of funny indeed. The level of interest maybe in the global events.
yeah,
Like
that's
my
a good way
mom
to put
is
it.
very
Yeah.
low. My mom knows what happened with the neighbors, but she doesn't want to know what's happened in the US, for example. But yeah, so yeah, in that sense, it's growing up a little alone maybe because I don't know. Everyone has local interest, and you're the one who want to reach out,
Yeah.
get on the web to know people. I mean, I've met the most coolest, amazing people only on the web, and it
Yeah.
was only possible. There was no way I could meet those people in real or
Yep.
come across them in real life. Let's put it that way.
No,
Yeah.
that's literally how I was. Literally, the first time I saw the internet was through AOL. My buddy was showing me, and I was like, "You realize that we could talk to anyone anywhere in the world?" He's like, "Yeah, it's not that
Yeah.
interesting." And I was like, "No, this is amazing."
Wow. It's mind blowing, right?
Yeah,
And but I often, if we have birthday parties or something like that, I always I bring up stuff that happens online, or I talk to that and that person, or um, for example, uh, the CEO from Flipboard is one of our Patreons. That's something just
yeah,
awesome. Flipboard is something I remember from back in the day, and the CEO of Flipboard is my Patreon. What?
yeah.
It's just something that blew my mind. But if you tell the people offline that it's almost like
Well,
the people who you talk to are not real people because they're online, and online is something else. I also say people say online, yeah, in the real world, but I say AFK, away from keyboard, because online is also in the real world. It's my real world. I live in the digital world. Why wouldn't that be real? I mean, for me, it's
yeah,
real, right?
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
and it's
for people who work in construction or in the factory, cool, that's your thing. But I'm not saying that's not real world. So why would you offend me by saying, yeah,
yeah.
all the stuff you do is not real? I'm talking to real people who really are at the end of the line. I mean, somehow it's something of a fake concept. I don't know. Yeah,
That's amazing.
funny.
Well, so
Yeah.
to switch to the Mastodon topic, so you run the seventh largest Mastodon on the Fediverse right now, which Mastodon is by far, I think it makes up 50 or 60% of the entire Fediverse, but all the platforms seem to be growing quite well. What kind of surprised you about running as an administrator? How do you handle all of the toxicity, the sensitive topics, the spam, the bots? And I have a real special one that I don't think most people know this. I didn't know this until I started looking it up. The Russian government demanded you remove someone
Oh
and you
yeah.
told them no. You literally stood up to a government, and this right here, this is why the Fediverse matters. You can silence a person, you can't silence the collective. So, with that
Yeah.
huge question, please go into all of it.
Okay. I've come to learn a lot over the past years. I didn't have any social media training, so I really stepped in blindly. First, I reacted on every troll. It was a bit echt a newbie experience basically, but over time you learn to kind of filter out what's important to reply on, for example, and what's important to just ignore and block or ban, for example. Um, Setting a line for your instance is very, very hard because drawing a line from what's allowed, what's not allowed. And
Yep.
I've come to learn over the past years that free speech, for example, is just a bullshit excuse
Yep.
to out
To be
whatever you want.
offensive. Yeah, to be a bully.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I've come to say I don't do free speech. Free speech is well, in some say free speech is not really allowed. You can say whatever you want, but you can also say it with respect to another person.
Yeah.
You don't have
Yep.
to call them out whatever you want because that's just over the line. So if people start replying with all kind of hate words to people, it's just end of the line and they're just gone. Just, I want a platform that I can present to my parents, for example. I want something that I can browse. If I had a
I
job
like
on,
that.
I don't know, airplane or whatever, of an airplane company, I want to be able to browse my timeline while I'm at work, for example. I don't want core content or offensive content, stuff like that. It has to be family friendly, basically. Because we have a lot of platforms these days that, well, they're not. They're just, yeah, very trashy, etc. And I don't want to be one of them.
No, I
So
think
yeah,
that's a great line to draw. Build a platform that you would want your parents or even your children to be able to go on safely, right?
and exactly something I can be proud of, something I don't have to be ashamed for. When my
Yeah.
mother brings up the URL, for example, and she gets confronted with all hate pictures or nude content or something like that, stuff that
Right.
isn't filtered. Or, I just want to have something friendly, something
I
for
like that.
everyone.
Yeah.
And if you want something edgy, you can just move to another server.
There's
Simple as
another
that.
one right around the corner. Or spin up your own,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, it's I've tried to
Oh,
tell
actually,
people and explain to people before when people have these big outlashes of you or what was it? Again, not to get political, but I think Danzup got a lot of heat for loops or is it pixel fed not allowing political content on it and people were getting very upset. You're destroying, so and so's ability to market. It's like, hang on, none. No side is allowed on here. And I'm just like, that's akin to someone coming into my house and being like, I don't like your couch, move it out. Here's an idea, go to another house.
exactly. Yeah, indeed. It's your house. You can decide what's allowed on your server and what's not.
Right.
For example, there's currently is in the UK. They're working on some sort of new law, I believe, that kind of forbids nude content or porn basically in combination with family-friendly platforms.
Yeah.
So we gotta maybe draw a line. Do we allow nude content dash porn on Mastodon? Yes or no? Because we could be facing consequences in the UK, for example.
Right.
That would be one line that could draw that redraws the whole aspect from what could be legal or what isn't legal on the
Right.
platform.
Yep.
We could decide we block the whole UK from Mastodon, from at least our server. But
Right.
it would be a drastic solution in that case. So yeah, it's a little bit measuring, I guess. What's
One, it's
doable?
it has to evolve as well, right? It's fluid. You can't say,
Yeah,
this is what it's going to be from now on. No one's allowed to talk about, I, I don't know, hairbrushes. And then you come to find out that literally hairbrushes are a sign of freedom in some country, or they've just outlawed it, and like it is an ongoing conversation. And I feel like a lot of times people just scream past each other about that.
yeah, exactly. So, for example, I think Amnesty the End of Social is banned in China because we have Winnie the Pooh emojis, I believe. Because Winnie the Pooh is banned in China, so our instance is just banned. We got DNS poisoned, I believe, so we're on the Chinese firewall. The same is now happening in Russia because we didn't comply with their removal request. We got blocked. So yeah, that's the response from the countries. If we don't comply, you just go on the block list. Okay, I guess. We also have a Tor address, so I mean it doesn't really matter much, but sure,
Right.
go ahead.
And I mean, that's the thing is you're if it was Twitter, for instance, they have to take it down. In order to continue doing business, they have to take it down. And they don't just take it down there, they take it down for everyone. And
Yeah.
that's not you're allowing them to censor someone else's laws. Like that's up for you.
Well,
Now you're responsible for Netherlands laws, right? So there might be something there that seems crazy to me, but that's where you're at.
yeah, and that's what I'm keeping to. I'm familiar with the laws in the Netherlands. I know we have a decent law system. We don't have any,
Yeah.
well, not overly complicated or absurd things. So like, for example, I also keep in touch with the German law. Don't post Nazi content, for example. I don't want that stuff on my server
I think we can
because
all agree
something.
to that one.
Yeah, exactly. But also like for example, with the happening with Elon Musk, it's getting a little edgy on what people cross post in reference
Yeah.
to Elon. You know what I mean? What's still doable? But if a lot of the Fediverse start posting it, do you have to ban everyone? Stop it. So what you say, it's evolving over time. It's depending on the current events in the world.
Yeah.
Rules also bend a little bit the instance with when you can ban everyone for that stuff. If you need to ban everyone posting a picture of Elon with well, we all know what he did, but you don't have anyone left basically in the Fediverse.
Right, yeah.
But technically it could be under that law, if you know what I mean. So
Well,
sometimes, yeah,
I'm a part of the Satanic Temple, and one of the tenets is you are allowed, you have the right to offend. And when I originally saw that, I was like, I don't really like that one. And then I came to realize there's a lot more nuance because what offends me could be wholly different than what offends you. I don't like tomatoes. You might love tomatoes and keep one as a pet. Like, and I'm just like, no, I can't even look at the thing. That's offensive to me, but you have a right to do that. But you also don't have to stand there and take the offense, right? And that's the other part of this that I think is important is, okay, you said something, I'm the admin, I found it offensive, I will warn you, if you don't stop, go find another house. And I don't
yeah.
think there's anything wrong with that.
But there's look the other way. Things will get scary when you are not allowed to make fun of stuff.
Yes.
If things get so extremely serious, you are not allowed. You're only allowed to talk in it about a specific way. Things will get scary very rapidly,
Yeah.
and I also don't want to support that kind of thing. It's like for example, I love to bash on governments. That's something I love to do. Just to I don't know keep them in bay. I know it doesn't have any effect. They don't hear me, but
Right, yeah,
it's for my
exactly.
own.
It's not hurting anyone.
I want to be able to express my displeasement with the government because
Yep.
if I'm not allowed to do that, things will get really scary really fast.
Yeah.
That's with multiple things. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
A good
okay.
example for I grew up with cartoons like Family Guy and South Park, and South
Yeah.
Park had a very good one. They offend everyone,
Yeah.
and indeed they do. I am a ginger, for example, and there's a whole episode about a ginger, and I loved it. I mean, it was bashed on me. I loved it on the other hand because you just gotta accept it, something like that. I mean, you enjoy 20 episodes about a fundament about someone else. Just take the one that's making fun about you.
Just
If
laugh
you
at
can't do
yourself.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, indeed, you gotta take a little bit of an edge sometimes, and yeah, doesn't mean you have to go on full on assaulting mode or something like that. Absolutely
Right.
not. You have to feel safe at the end of the day. I absolutely agree with that. But
That's
there's
awesome.
not,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, there's just somewhere in between line, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to keep that. Yeah, absolutely.
So only a couple more questions before our quiz. First off,
Ooh.
what can people do to help? Like, how can people help you and the services and the platforms and stuff?
Oh, I post every month. On my website also. I have various links to PayPal, Coffee, Patreon, Open Collective. I think I have all of them, and all those money funnels back to my business account, and we pay the services and all the bills from that.
Yeah.
So that's the financial thing. And on the other hand, I guess share the Fediverse. The more people on the Fediverse, the better. I mean, that's always a good thing.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So What are your thoughts on our fish mole emote? If you look in chat, that's the fish mole emote. It's a blob fish.
I love blobs. I don't know. I love a freaky animal. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they are. Yeah, there's something always so interesting. It's like, well, you obviously didn't evolve because of the looks. It's definitely a there's something else going on there.
Those are deep sea fish, right? Those.
Yeah, I think so.
Blob monsters.
Yeah,
I love those. Those are kind of aliens. They resemble aliens a bit, and I don't know. I'm a little bored maybe with normal life, so far alien life is always cool. I love it. I'm a sci-fi guy, so yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now for the real reason I asked Stux here is to give him the opportunity to win a prize of a lifetime. Our prize today is a year's supply. I can't talk right now. Our prize today is a year's supply of toe lint donated by my kids. We thought about getting you a ticket to Mars, but we figured Elon would want to go, and we like you too much to do that to you. So, are you ready for the quiz, Stux?
I am. Bring it.
All right. Favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
Favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
Yeah.
I have no clue how to answer.
You don't know what Spaceballs is? I'm getting old. There's too many people that don't know Spaceballs.
I don't know what Spaceballs is. I'm so sorry.
All right. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, good one. I'm more of a TV show guy, but I think let's pick something complicated. Oh wow, I'm a little bit blank right now.
This is only the first question, Stux. We got 5 more to go through, man. Come on.
Interstellar. Go with Interstellar.
Interstellar, that's a great one. Yeah, I like Interstellar. Okay. Yeah. Next question.
I love the weird ending.
Oh yeah,
I love the weird ending.
But it's sad too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Pizza, ice cream, or cheese?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Okay.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yep.
Mohawk?
I'm a sweets guy. Oh, for sure.
Mohawk or comb over?
Mohawk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I always undead with a mohawk in World of Warcraft.
Nice. Nice.
That looks so.
So
difficult. Yeah.
What would an alternate universe Stux do for a living?
Ooh, I think manage a nuclear reactor or something like that.
Okay. Well, we talked.
I love pushing buttons all day.
I reached out to an alternate universe Stux, and he says he actually sizes elephant trunks and puts ties on them so that elephants can feel more professional. But
that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
It's a very common.
Because in the alternate universe, we are ruled by elephants, of course, because they're the mastodons of society, right?
There you go. Yeah. So, best holiday, and I'm going to give you 3 different holidays that I swear are real holidays. I'll link it down below, and I'll link it in chat. These are listed. Oh, I can't link it in chat right now, but I'll link it down below the video. So, fruitcake toss day, make up your own holiday day, or my bucket's got a hole day.
Make up your own holiday day.
I like that one too. I found that really interesting. Yeah.
And I also want a day to make up, so yeah.
Yeah.
We can get creative with that one, so yeah.
I mean, sure. you have an instance of 250,000 people. You just be like, today you're celebrating me.
Or not be like I don't know, Mastodon Day or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Fatty Day. Yeah. We have a Fatty Day already. I mean,
we did.
Yeah. The Open Foundation. Hey. Uh-oh.
So then, as usual, the last question, Stux, I'm going to send it telepathically. So here it comes. Okay, Stux, what's your answer?
22.
22,
Easily.
Okay. Yay.
22.
Congratulations. You got every answer either right or wrong. Good job. I hear that one of our community members, logo developer, is heading there right now to drop off a Oh, wait.
Yeah, I see it coming. Yeah, I'm opening the window and got it. Thank you very much.
Well, he didn't quite make it. He was on his way there via the undersea transatlantic cables, and for some reason, they just happen to keep breaking lately, and he went straight into a blobfish's mouth. So he got eaten. So I'm sorry, Stux. Once we reconstitute a new logo developer clone, I'll make sure to punish him for not having your year's supply of Tolent, which.
All right. Oh, that's cool. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Understandable, of course.
So, and that brings us to the end of another weird and crazy episode. As always, of course, we are sponsored on this show. So this episode was brought to you by Liquid Schwartz. Whether it's bringing down a Mega Mate or a Mog, helping his buddy, don't forget your can of Liquid Schwartz. Pick it up at any of your local Winnebago dealerships or Gus's Galaxy Grill near Jupiter, too. And may the Schwartz be with you. What a world. So thanks. Thank you, Stux, for coming out. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has a good day, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for having me. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Bye.